Good afternoon, everybody. It's Miss Morgan from the Williston Community Library bringing you today's week 4 of the summer reading program. So today we are going to need out of our bags, we are going to need this cup and our Ziploc bag. And then we can set this aside. And then you're also going to need your paints, a paintbrush, and a cup of water. And you're going to want to put something down on the table. I've chose newspapers because we are going to be painting and it can get a little bit messy. So what we're going to do today is we are going to, out of this bag, pull out one of our pairs of eyes, or if you want to use buttons as eyes, that works too. It is totally up to you and your creativity. And then also what we're going to do is we are going to take our cup and we're going to put it down and we are going to paint a farm animal. So you can choose whichever farm animal you want. I think I'm going to make mine into a cow. So what I'm going to do is I have my paint and my paintbrush here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just cover the outside. And we're going to paint it, let it sit for a little bit, read our story, and then come back to it. That way it has a little bit of time to dry. And you might need 2 coats on it. One might not be enough, but it's up to you. And the easiest way to hold it is putting your hand inside of it because it helps you hold it a little easier without getting paint all over yourself. So once you're done painting your outside, like I said, you're going to let it sit for a little bit. That way it has time to dry. Because if you try to put the eyes and stuff on it before it's dry, they'll probably just fall off. Alright, so I'm almost done with my base coat here. And then I'm going to let it dry for a little bit. And as you can see, this is why you might have to paint 2 coats. Because if you look, let me see if I can zoom in. Apparently I can't. But that's okay. So what you see is it's coming off a little bit. Because the paint doesn't want to stick as well to the plastic. Alright, so now what we are going to do is I'm going to let it sit for a little bit and we are going to read our story. So today the story we have for you is called Book, Book, Book. And this is by Deborah Bruss, illustrated by Tiphanie Beeke. Down at the farm, all was well until, and if you look, there's a lot of children playing at the farm with all the animals. The children went back to school, and the animals had nothing to do. They had no rides to share, no tug of war to play, no one to scratch behind their ears or ruffle their feathers. And look, the animals all look sad, and so do the children. In the bright morning sun, the horse hung his head. The The cow complained. The goat grumbled. The pig pouted. The duck dozed off. And the hen heaved a sigh. Long about noon, with the sun high above the barnyard, the hen squawked, "I'm bored, and I'm heading to town to find something to do." The animals followed her down the road. And if you look, there's a frog, and it looks like they might be heading to the library. "Look!" clucked the hen. "Happy faces! This must be the place we're looking for. I'll go in and see if I can find something to do." "Nay, nay," whinnied the horse. "You're too small for such a big job. Leave it to me." And look, they're at the public library. The horse clip-clopped in. Politely, he asked for something to do. But the librarian could not understand the horse. All she heard was, "Nay, nay." So the horse hung his head and clip-clopped out. Next, the cow plodded in. Politely, she asked for something to do. But the librarian could not understand the cow. All she heard was, "Moo, moo." So the cow complained and plodded out. Now it was the goat's turn. He trotted in. Politely, he asked for something to do. But the librarian couldn't understand the goat. All she heard was, "Baa, baa." So the goat grumbled and trotted out again. Slowly, the pig ambled into the library. Politely, she asked for something to do. But all the librarian heard was oink, oink. So the pig ambled out to tell her friends. Up flapped the hen, and she announced, "I am going in, and no one is going to stop me." Into the library she flapped. "Boop!" clucked the hen politely. The librarian looked around and said, "What's that noise?" And if you see, the librarian's on a ladder, and the hen is down at the bottom of the ladder. "Boop! Boop!" clucked the hen. The librarian scratched her head. "Who's that?" she asked. "Boop! Boop! Boop!" clucked the hen quite clearly. "Oh, is this what you want?" asked the librarian. And she handed the hen $3. And look, all the animals seem to be happy. And they're heading back to the farm on the tractor, and the hen has the 3 books that they're going to read. Back at the farm, the horse, the cow, the goat, the pig, the duck, and the hen gathered around the books. The barnyard was filled with neighs and moos, baas, oinks, quacks, and book, book, books. Their sounds of delight lasted until sundown. All the animals were happy, except for the bullfrog. And do you know what he said? "I already read it, read it, read it, read it." The end. All right, everyone. So now that we have got a chance to read our story, what we're going to do is we are going to come back to our painting. And mine's a little bit dry, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another layer on. That way it's a little, you can see the paint a little better and it's not so and it's not so, sorry, I can't think of the word. So the paint's thicker on there and it's not showing the cup as much. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it sit for just another minute or so. And if it doesn't have to be perfect, if you want to go ahead and finish yours right now, that is fine. I just noticed that you could see a lot of my cup, and I wanted to try to get some of my cup to go away. All right, so now you're going to just let it sit for another second if you've decided to paint over it again, so that it has time to dry. All right, and now that it's had a little bit of time to dry, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick it up, put my hand in it just like we did before to paint, that way it's easier. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my other colors and I'm going to add some spots, and these are going to be my cow's spots. And you can do, if you're doing different animals, I had a couple people who've painted horses, dogs. It's totally up to you. All right, so now that I've finished my red spots, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw on towards the top here. So here's the front. So this is where my face is going to be. And with green, I'm going to draw my cow's ears, because I don't have anything else to use. If you have paper or something that you want to use to create ears, or if you want to use some string for a tail, that is totally up to you. All right, so now that I've finished my ears on my cow, I'm trying to zoom in, but I can't get it to zoom in anymore. So I've got my spots and I've got my ears. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sticker eyes and I'm going to place my cow's eyes on. And then my farm animal cup is complete. Oh, I gotta do a nose and a mouth. Don't forget your animal's nose and mouth, because I almost did. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my cow's nose. And mouth. All right, so now my farm animal is complete. And I would love to see pictures of yours. If you want to send in some pictures, that would be amazing. I'm sure they all look great. So now that we've finished today's summer reading program, just so you know, if you haven't had a chance to pick up a bag, we still have plenty left. Or if you know somebody who's been wanting to do the programs, then they are more than welcome to come and grab bags as well. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you next week.